wanted to go through a quick demo of what the Clear use case would actually look like from both the end user and from the Trap auto poll solution backend. So what we have here is a normal end user with a message in their mailbox that they think is a bit fishy, doesn't look right, it's got a link in it, they didn't expect to get, they don't know what account that is. So they're going to go ahead and submit that via the report, the fish alarm button, which is how the system allows you to report fish. They get a nice pop-up, says thank you for that suspicious email. They're going to forward it off to the security team, so there's immediate feedback that they, kind of thanking them for doing something good, helping keep the company safe. Now, what happens on the back end is that message actually gets analyzed in the cloud through Fish Alarm Analyzer, which is a part of the service that is a free portion that is kind of the bridge between the report Fish Alarm button and the back end incident response system. So while the end user won't see this, I will show you quickly what the mailbox of the email admin is going to look like. And momentarily here, we'll get an email from that analyzer service. It takes 30 to 60 seconds or so, depending on the message, to do that analysis. And there we are. So there's our message. Again, this is what an email administrator would see, that analyzer analyze the message. And what's going to happen there is that mailbox is going to be monitored by our threat response dashboard. So you saw a couple things happen there, and I'll go back and explain what the automated rule did. But essentially, when we go into our threat response information here, we're going to look under the incidents that are available in the system. And what happened was that abuse mailbox that we looked at, that's being monitored by threat response auto poll. And so it ends up creating an incident and that's the one we're going to take a look at here, incident 265. So it takes a look every minute, looks for messages in the abuse mailbox over here, and takes an action when it sees that, creates an incident. So this is what that incident looks like. You can see in here that there's also some matches related to a known tap campaign. So that's going to give credence to the fact that it's a very good thing that this end user submitted this. If we take a look under activity, we're going to see that through an automatic rule, the message that the end user submitted was quarantined out of their mailbox, right? Because it turned out to be a legitimate fish in a bad way that had somehow gotten through and been delivered. So it was removed from their mailbox, and we'll go back and see that momentarily. If I go back in here, this is the original user. Our message is gone. In its place, we have an automated email from this threat response system showing that indeed, that's the security team identified that message as malicious and it was removed. So it's positive reinforcement to the end user that the action they took, allowed them to be safer and have that message removed. So they'll get that. And this content here is somewhat configurable as far as the verbiage, but you get the idea that there's a positive feedback loop that finishes off their interaction with the report fish. So back to our incident. So that happened automatically, which is the beauty of this. Nobody had to be around. It would happen within, as you can see, a matter of seconds. If we look at from the administrator standpoint, there's the reason that happened. If we look at the abuse mailbox as the source here, we look at this rule that says, all right, well, I'm going to automatically quarantine messages that are suspicious or likely to be a fish. That's what that analyzer portion did. It took a look at that message, say, this is likely a fish for a number of reasons, and that because that automatically created an incident as it came in, it picked up this rule and said, I'm going to go ahead and pull that message. So that's the auto poll portion of the Clear use case. So again, your end user, they submit something within less than a minute, it gets analyzed, and if properly set up, it's going to automatically remove that message out of their mailbox and out of harm's way, take the risk away from them.